Good afternoon, 2015 Pittsburgh Penguins Elite fans. Thanks for joining us here this afternoon for game number 1 of a 3-game homestand, where the boys in black and gold will play host to the travelers from New Jersey, the Philadelphia Hockey Club, a 339-mile journey from the Philadelphia Hockey Club's home in Sewell, New Jersey, to the friendly confines of Cranberry, Pennsylvania, the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex. We get set to go here with 15 minutes on the clock. We had a change in game times here a few weeks ago. We were notified that the LA Kings actually had the practice ice here, or had practice on this same ice surface. There's a few members of the LA Kings to my left right now. But the likes of Anze Kopitar and Brian Dumoulin were out on the ice. But right now, it's the starting lineup for your Pens Elite. Number 8, Connor Wilson steps in for the draw. He'll be flanked by his line mate this year, Mason Fritchie, and a new line mate, number 7, Nico Stark. On the backside will be Welch, and number 9, Brady Fritchie. Back to center come the PHC, Philadelphia Hockey Club. Welch is going to come over here. He's pressured by Roach. Welch is going to try and send this up ahead. That's picked up easily by 89. And that's put into the back of the net. For a 1-0 lead, just 21 seconds into the game. Behind the starting netminder, number 33, Luka Thompson. Goes off the stick of number 86 that read that exit pass. Urban. Behind the net now, it's Brady Fritchie. He's going to throw it up ahead. So Welch tries to move it along further. Wins that battle, gets it off the stick. Stark thrown right back in behind Thompson. And it goes up off the backhand of Connor Wilson. 1-0 lead early in this game for PHC. As it embers Papawaner. He's going to throw it in deep now. On to get to this puck is number 19, Bingham Green. Followed on by 22. Bingham Green has this behind the net now. He controls, tries to work it out in front. Blake Parrish on to help out, number 25. It's thrown off the dash report. That's going to be read and picked off here as the Pens are trying to work it back to Loya. As 20 throws it now behind Thompson. Back to get this puck is 37, Ambers Papawaner. He leaves it for Grant Loya, reverses behind the net now. Loya head up. Pass nearly picked off, but regaining control will be number 68 for PHC. Goes off the wall where it's picked up now by Max Roach. Drop past to Fazio. Fazio deflects off of Ambrose Papawaner's stick just wide of the net where Roach now picks it up. He's pressured by Loya, forced to the wall. Pacelli now. He collides below the goal line with Ferguson. Papawaner tries to move it along, goes beyond the stick of Paris, snapped in to the stick of 68 Pacelli. Back to 7 Fazio. Fazio, he's going to squirt it in. Goes to the glove, the left hand of Bingham Green. Drops it down to his stick. Collision here right in front of the Pens bench involving Roach and Paris. Pens are going to dump this in now. And on the forecheck is number 45, Brooks Kowarski. Following on now is 74 Easton Borman. He has his pocket picked. As it's thrown back behind the zone. Good keep there by number 9, Brady Fritchie. Following on now is Colt Davis. Drops it behind the net to Brady Fritchie. Brady Fritchie tries to move along further. 22 reads that pass. Picks it up, throws it off the stick of Luka Thompson. And it's covered up by the netminder number 33 to get a D-zone draw here with 12:02 to go in the first period. If you're joining us late here, PHC scored 21 seconds in with 14:39 on the first period clock. Unassisted goal from number 86. Off the draw here, shot just wide of the net by number 20. Foreman challenges number 8, 89. As Brady Fritchie collects the mail. He spins off, starts to take it out of the Pens D zone. A couple of PHC members collapsing on him. Down the left-hand wall will be number 45, Brooksy Gaworski. Centering pass goes through the slot all the way and out of the zone. On the stick of number 20, he's going to dump and make a change. 22 will stay on the forecheck. Going back for this puck is number 37, Ambrose Papawana. Headman pass up for Colt Davis. He's going to take this in, dump it in, he'll make a change. On the forecheck now is number 8, Connor Wilson. He pressures the puck carrier into a near turnover there, as following on was Nico Stark. He's hustling over to get to the 77's now, going to push this out of Zen Welch. But the keeper's going to dump it back down the wall. Where PHC tries to collect, Welch is going to step into this puck. He's going to dump it back for Ambrose Papawana. Papawana, headman pass off the blade of Mason Fritchie. Pushing this along further is Connor Wilson. Moves it now to Connor Wilson behind the net. Back to Fritchie. Goes back to the point man, that's Grant Loya. They play catch. Loya has it at the point, right wing point. Throws it in on net, goes under a couple sticks. Right pad save there for the netminder, number 29, Williams. Thrown back to the top of the zone to Loya. Loya down to Fritchie. Fritchie back to Loya. Loya snaps it in, deflects off the right skate of Nico Stark. And it will be outletted into the Pens D zone by 86, who works to get to that puck. Icing is going to be the call with 10:14 to go in the first period. Riker Ferguson, number 93, steps in for the draw. He's flanked by Paris and number 19, Bingham Green. Back to center comes the puck, where it's picked up by Grant Loy. Goes D2D to CJ Nenevisa. Nenevisa off the wall to Blake Paris. Paris goes through the feet of Ferguson. Ferguson snaps it off the bar. That right post. Big Ben strikes one. As PHC fortunate there to have the score remain 1-0 PHC. Good look there from number 93, the centerman, Riker Ferguson. Quick snapshot. Surprised the netminder. As Ferguson steps in for the draw again, it's going to be thrown all the way down the ice. This should be an icing call. And it is. With 9:50 to go in the first period. Snap back to number 8. Moves it to Welch. Welch to Fritchie. Fritchie with a drag move. Gets around a member of the PHC. Has it behind the net now. Fritchie snaps it in. Stick down by number 19, Bingham Green. Following on is Riker Ferguson. 22 tries to get to this puck. He throws it behind his own net. Where 27 is going to try and walk out of the zone. And it's picked off there by number 9, Brady Fritchie. That move is going to be picked off by 20. Enters the Pens D zone. Pens trembling to make a change. Goes to the backhand of Easton Borman. He's got a man head of the play. It is 45, Brooks Gaworski. Borman decides to take it himself. He dips around a man. Still has the puck on his backhand here. Borman has it behind the net. Goes to Gaworski in front. Backhanded just wide of the right pad. And number 29, Colton Williams. Here on the half wall, Colt Davis has stick lifted as it's shot off the face mask, the cage of 37, Ambrose Papawana. Moves it to Loy. Loy quickly gets us up to Colt Davis. Loses control momentarily. He's on this puck again. Davis backhands it to the face-off circle, where it's in the feet of Gaworski. Pinched down further by Borman. On the forecheck now is Gaworski coming up the half wall. Is unable to hold it in there where the Pens. Back to get it is Ambrose Papawana. A quick backhand over to 35, Colt Davis. Knocked off his stick blade back to center with 8:40 to go in the first period. Man falls down for PHC. 68 tries a move to get around Papawana. He stops his progress as Grant Loya will retreat as he's being pressured by number 68, Pacelli. Loya now comes to this puck again in the D zone. Shots in the board show one apiece as Grant Loy Goes over center red. He's going to dump it in. Goes off the shin pad of a PHC player. Where Mason Fritchie, fresh on his shift, picks this up. Tries to move it along to Connor Wilson. Does come to Wilson. Wilson's got a man in front. Decides to shoot this puck. As there's a mad scramble in the crease. Fritchie's knocked to the ice surface. Puck is covered. Offensive zone faceoff coming up with 7:54 to go in the first period. It's going to be thrown all the way through. Where 22 tries to move it along to number 20. Picked off though by Brady Fritchie. Fritchie up to Connor Wilson. Wilson dips around and man, he's pulled down. Penalty coming up. Here's he had a step on the PHC defender. Got to stick up into him. Connor Wilson goes down, so the Pens will be on their first power play of the day with 7:25 to go in the first period. As 17 Nunez will sit down here for the next minute 30 or less. As the Pens go on the power play here, centered by number 93 Riker Ferguson. 25 Blake Harris, 19 Bingham Green up front. Backside Brady Fritchie, number 77 CJ Nenavisa. It's going to be thrown off the stick blade of Bingham Green. He's able to knock that puck down. Goes to Nenavisa. Nenavisa throws it into space. 77 tosses it behind the netminder. Is 7 Fazio. Throws it back to center red where Brady Fritchie picks it up. He'll retreat now. He'll go D to Nenavisa. CJ Nenavisa now has it. Goes off the wall to Blake Harris. Penn's trying to work it in the offensive zone. Followed on by Riker Ferguson. That's his pocket pick, thrown back into the Pens D zone. There'll be an icing call here. With 57 to go on the Pens power play now. 6:52 to go in the first period. Pens will stick with the same personnel up front. Backside will be Papuano and Welch. She's going to win this draw. Welch tries to get this in and does. Welch is going to walk into some space here. He's going to snap it in into the glove of Colton Williams. Do it all over again. 17 in the box for the next 50 seconds now. Wilson on for the draw. He's on with Stark and Fritchie. Papuano and Welch backside. One back to Welch now. Has it on the wall. He's going to drop it down to Wilson. Wilson goes back to Welch here. Welch is going to switch with Wilson. Wilson has it high in the zone. He goes D to D and where's Papuano. Papuano has some space. He's working, surveys the scene. He's got a man on the backside. Goes to him. It's Mason Fritchie out of his reach there. 28 to go in the power play. Wilson on his backhand now. He has it in space. He's going to switch with Papuano. Papuano high in the zone now. Going to walk down, goes to Welch. Welch surveys the scene, snaps it in on the net, goes through the crease. Now comes through to Connor Wilson. Wilson tries to finesse it through. It's going to be thrown back out of the zone. Ambrose Papuano. That's a man coming hard. Welch is going to get back on 68. And he collects back to even 5-on-5 action. Welch is going to skate this out. Tries to throw it up to the stick of Connor Wilson and does. Wilson finesses it through a man. As it comes back to the half wall where 22 exits the D zone of PHC. Is going to try Nenavisa. Nenavisa, good stick there here. Do not let that puck get behind him. As Connor Wilson follows on. He steps into the offensive zone. Connor Wilson tries to dance around. He's stood up by PHC. 5:16 to go in the first period now. Moves it to 22. 22 will try to work it around Enavisa. Toe drag move goes through. Grant Lloyd, gets to that puck. Moves it up to Gaworski. Gaworski tries to feather it through to Borman. Goes under his stick leg. Where Win, number 77, will now pick it up. Following on is Colt Davis has a stick under his armpit trying to work this puck out of the corner. 4:33 to go in the first period. It's Gaworski that walks out. Tries a backdoor pass to Borman. Goes under his stick blade. Where number 8 works it high in the zone now. Where Colt Davis has it at the blue line. Works it off the wall into space. 77 works it back up to his winger, number 20. Where number 8 is going to try and work it into the skates of Fritchie. It does kick back to Brady Fritchie now. Where he angles his man to the wall and leaves it for Riker Ferguson. Ferguson has a step now. He's going to take it back up into the offensive zone. Riker Ferguson leads the charge. It's going to drop it for Bingham Green. Goes under his stick just a little bit behind him. Creates an outlet pass from Max Roach, number 15. Good back check there from Blake Parrish, 25. Bumps into Roach. Separates him from the puck. Green tries to work it around. Gets into the equipment of 7 Fazio. Green's pocket pick by Roach. Bingham Green returns a favor. Now on the backhand. Fritchie to Welch. Welch tries to feather this through to Parrish. It connects. Parrish brings it back into the offensive zone. Stops up on the half wall. 3:27 now to go in the first period. PHC 1-0 lead on the goal 21 seconds in. There, Connor Wilson tries to move it along further. But it's thrown off of a stick back into the Pens D-zone. Icing will be waved off. Grant Loya chops it for Nico Stark. Stark tries to move it to Ambrose Papuano. Out of his reach, though. 86. As it picked up by 37, Ambrose Papuano is going to lead the charge for the Pens. Knocked off a couple sticks there. Pens having trouble connecting with crisp passes as they enter the offensive zone with 2:44 to go in the first period. Back to the point man. It's Ambrose Papuano, the left-hander. PHC defender falls down. As Ambrose Papuano stood up there at the face-off dot, and it's going to be deflected into the PHC bench for a neutral zone correction. In the offensive zone face-off for the Pens. Only 2:33 to go. Shot totals right now 4-1 in favor of the boys in black and gold, but where it counts in the scoreboard, 1-0 lead with 2:28 now to go. It's thrown behind the PHC net, picked up by number 17. Dangerous deflected pass in front where 86 will recover. Tries a drag move to get around Stark. Throws it back into the Pens zone where 22 applies some pressure. 20 picks up that puck, shot into the corner, top left corner of the net. And that's a 2-0 lead. With 2:11 to go in the first period. Connor Wilson will step in here for the draw. As Mason Fritchie tries to pressure Fazio. Welch will step up as he's being pressured. He's going to reverse it back out of the zone. Should be an offsides call, and it is. Pens are going to change up the personnel up front. Colt Davis on the right wing. Left winger will be Easton Borman. At center, Brooksy Gaworski snaps that draw over to the wall. Brady Fritchie is going to hustle with his puck. Pens looking to get something going here late in the first period. Brady Fritchie has it on his stick, knocked off. As Max Roach is going to bring it back to center. Gaworski's covering back. Welch is in a foot race here to get back to this puck. Box will be number 45, Brooks Gaworski, as Roach went down as he was bumped into by number 45, Brooks Gaworski. Okay. So, minute 30 penalty on the board right now. The defense penalty killers, Borman, Pritchie, Harrison, Welch. Fazio has it high, goes down to the top of the circle. Fazio once again plays catch with 68. Goes back to Fazio. Welch is going to come over and pressure number 8. And retreats back to the box. Paris. He pressures Fazio now. Fazio has some time. Cade has it at the dot, doesn't look to shoot, he goes right back to Fazio. Welch is going to try and step out on him. Fazio has a man back door, goes to him. Snapped off. Brady Fritchie. Or Welch is going to activate now to get to this puck. He's going to try and move this along further. Deflects off of a stick blade. And into the back of the net. For the power play goal for PHC with 59.5. We have a netminder change here. Max Dragosic will step in at the end of the first period here. Ambrose Papuano, who will go back to collect this puck. He'll go D to Grant Loya. Loya up to Bingham Green. Penn's trailing right now 3-0 late in the first period. As Riker Ferguson moves it along to Ambrose Papuano. Back to collect this puck will be 43 Grant Loya now. He's pressured by Spittle. Moves it over to Papuano. Papuano up to Bingham Green. Green for Ferguson. At the end of one, PHC leads 3-0. We'll be back with second period action in just a moment. All right, 15 minutes on the clock. Penn's looking to start the comeback here. Second period action underway as Mason Fritchie will bring it into the offensive zone. He's going to try and work it around Witten. Has it on his forehand, protects on his backhand now. Fritchie tries to walk off the wall and move it along to Wilson now. But that is picked off as it's thrown back to center to number 9, Brady Fritchie. Plays catch with Nenavisa. Nenavisa back to Fritchie. Picked up here by PHE. 86 is going to work around Nenavisa. Centering pass. That'll be picked up by Connor Wilson. Got a man ahead of the play. Wilson's going to skate it. Wilson gets to this puck. Snaps a shot off the blocker at 29 Williams. As a 3-on-2 develops for PHC. 68 is going to bring it into the offensive zone. Snaps it off the equipment of Welch. As Stark, headman pass into the skates of number 4, Mason Fritchie. Where Fazio tries a delay move. But following on is number 8, Connor Wilson. As he has the puck briefly knocked off his stick. He's looking for a trailer off the bench. It's going to be Colt Davis. Davis snaps it off the shin guard to 22 Spittle. Following on is Easton Borman. Davis now tries to get this puck as Borman has it under his equipment. As it's now thrown to the wall here. It'll be iced all the way down. Ambrose Papuano back to survey the scene, and we'll come right back down into the Pens offensive zone. With 13:34 to go in the first period. Pens able to get a shot there. Shot totals right now 5-3 in favor of the Pens. Brooks Morrissey will stay on for this draw. He's flanked by Davis and Borman. Backside Papuano and Welch. Williams between the pipes for PHC. Face-off will be pushed behind by Witten. Going over to get to this puck is Ambrose Papuano. Has it high in the zone. As it's going to be picked off by Max Roach. Closing the gap though is Easton Borman. He's able to knock it off his blade. Welch now has it. As this goes behind the net to 89. Picked up by Ambrose Papuano. Moves it up to Davis. Davis to Borman. Borman brings it, cuts into the middle of the ice. As Loya. He'll retreat now into his own zone. Pushed along by Borman. 94. Will reverse it over to 8. Has it on the half wall. Pushes it up ahead. Harris follows onto this puck. Now comes to the stick at Grant Loya. Loya hits a fresh Bingham Green. Hopped off the bench. Bingham Green walks in. Snapped into the glove of Williams. Was able to see that shot clearly. As with 12:20 to go now. Ferguson on for the draw, wins it back to Bingham Green. It's in the skates now of Green, down by number 9. Brady Fritchie goes back to Bingham Green, who's manning the point. They try to play catch. Fritchie's able to walk off that wall, but his pocket was picked by 22 Spittle. Draw now to Noah Welch, has it high in the zone. Tries to work it back down to Blake Parrish. Fazio now controls. He's pressured by Ferguson. Where it's thrown up ahead. Where foot race ensues, where Fritchie's going to win that battle. Takes it behind Max Dragosic. Throws it up off the wall. Controlled by 27. Off the left-handed glove of Riker Ferguson. Gets it to his stick now on his back end. He's going to dump it in. Pens are going to make a wholesale change, except for Parrish, who's going to stay on the fortune of this puck. Bangs into Fazio. Fazio is able to move that to his winger, number 8. Fazio follows on. Tucks it behind a man, back down into the corner where Connor Wilson picks it up with 11:20 to go in first period. He's pressured by Fazio. Centering pass comes all the way through to Grant Loya. Has it high in his zone. Snapped in off of the equipment of number 20. Where 27 now controls. He gets his head up. Good skating there as he's pressured by Nico Stark. 20. Tries to skate it out of the zone now and does. Headman pass to number 8. Nanavisa seals the puck away from him. Pushes it behind the net to Grant Loya. Loya up ahead now to Mason Fritchie. Maurer follows on and pushes it. It's picked off now by Brady Fritchie. He walks in, snaps, shot, goes off the right shin guard of Maurer. Wilson to Mason Fritchie. Got a man back door. It's his brother Brady. Brady's going to walk in, deflects in on net, just wide of the net now, where Mason Fritchie follows on. Goes back to the point man, it's Nanavisa. Nanavisa is going to swing it right back down low to Connor Wilson. Has it at the circle. He spins off a man. He's going to try a power move, snaps it up high off the shoulder. Good save there. It's still loose in front. Following on is Colt Davis. Squirts through the crease and thrown back to center here by 86. Pens able to get an offensive opportunity there as we go to the 10-minute mark in the first period. As Colt Davis trying to get back on the attack now. Has it knocked off of his stick blade back to center. Where Brady Fritchie carries it in. He's going to swing it around. Brady Fritchie Had an opening there, almost found it. Connor Wilson's going to take it back out of the zone. Trying to go through a lot of bodies there, but it's picked off by 86, who's now pressured by Borman. 86 throws it all the way back down into the Penn zone, where Brady Fritchie picks it up behind the Penn's net. Goes off the wall to Colt Davis, he's run into. Following on there was Brady Fritchie. He now is bodied into. Max Roach has it deflected onto a teammate, number 68. 68, centering pass, comes all the way through. Good save there by Max Dragosic to shut things down. Behind the net, it's Connor Wilson that has this puck. Tries to send a headman pass. That's going to be read and picked off by 94. Snapped off the locker room boards. Goes wide of the net. With 9 minutes even now to go in the first period. Maurer swings it down low to 20. 20 tries a step move around Fritchie. Thrown behind the net, 68. PHC now playing below the goal line, where Fritchie comes over to steal his man off. Connor Wilson picks it up. Knocked off of his feet. As comes up, Pens have some tired bodies. Colt Davis tries to work it out of the zone. It's held in, where Max Dragosic deflects this out to the top of the circle. As PHC had a man fan on that rebound attempt. Lots of pressure being applied right now. 5 tired boys out on the ice for Penn's Elite. Fritchie tries to hold his man into the corner. Wilson follows on. Wilson's going to throw up behind the net, where Welch is going to pick this up. Welch is going to send this up to Borman. Catches that with his glove. And the Penn's been able to exit the zone. Borman's going to stay on here with Colt Davis as he bounces it around 77. Easton Borman brings it down Wall Street here. Borman crashes into the netminder, number 9. We're going to have a hooking call. Has good power move there from number 74, Easton Borman. So the Pens will go on the power play after being hemmed into their own zone for a flurry of activity by PHC. Ferguson on for the power play here is flanked by Gaworski and Blake Parrish. Backside Papuano and Loya. Clean win to Parrish. Parrish to Loya. Loya's going to snap it off a stick blade. Deflects down in front. Still loose in front. Trying to find this puck is Gaworski. Parrish follows on, but Roach is going to take this out of the fray. Loya's able to hold the zone. He protects. Swings it back to his forehand. Tries to play catch with Ambrose Papuano. It just slips out of the zone, so Papuano swings it right back to Loya. Loya retreating into the Pens D zone here. 1:04 now to go on the Pens power play. Papuano moves it ahead to Blake Parrish, knocked off of his stick blade by Fazio. Riker Ferguson returns the favor, but can't catch up with that puck. As high in the zone at the blue line. Papuano, sweet little pass there over to Ferguson, just evades him. Ferguson at the top of the circle. Cycles it down low to Blake Parrish. Parrish tries to move it to Loya, out of his reach though. Pens have to clear the zone here to get back on side with 34 to go in the power play. 7 minutes even now to go in the second period. Mason Fritchie, he walks into the Pens offensive zone. Finesse move around Fazio. Fazio is able to hold him up as it comes now to number 9, Brady Fritchie. He's got a man back door, hits him. It's CJ Nenavisa. He walks in. CJ Nenavisa shoots this off the equipment. Oh, Fazio, it bounces right down to Mason Fritchie, who tucks it into the 4-pit tunnel in between the legs of Colton Williams for the PPG for PPE. Fritchie from Nenavisa for the Pens' first goal of the game. On the power play there. As Fritchie was able to find a man back door in Nenavisa, who put it right back onto the net, deflects down in front of right to the stick of number 4, Mason Fritchie. And in between the pillows of 29, Colton Williams. It's a 3-1 game now at the midpoint of the second period. Shot totals right now, 10-7 in favor of the Pens Elite. As Brady Fritchie will skate this back out of the Pens zone, back to center. Brady Fritchie leads the charge. He's going to walk through the PHC defenders off the shin guard. Thrown right back in front by Bigman Green. It is shot into the net by Nico Stark. Green, sweet little backhand pass It finds the stick of the trailer Nico Stark. Top shelf. And it's a 3-2 game with 6:15 to go in the second period. Easton Borman, the man that got all this started with that penalty call that created the power play. He snaps it in, right pad save by Williams. Pushing the place right now as Fazio angles Borman to the wall right now. He steals that puck. Strong play for number 7. The PHC defender goes back to the point man. Papaluano swings it right back down. Hustling over this puck will be Easton Borman. Fazio has to reverse now to Winton behind the net. As it's deflected back to the point man, Papaluano. He holds his own now. Cole Davis tries to move it along and knocked off a his stick blade. Comes to 68 Pacelli, where it's thrown into the skates of Papaluano. He finds his puck. Good skating there from the number 37. He'll now lead the charge. He's got a man ahead of the plate. Connor Wilson decides to hold this puck himself. He's going to walk in, goes through everybody. Ambrose Papaluano almost tucks this home. Rebound can't be corralled there by Connor Wilson as it's knocked off a his stick blade. Davis moves it down low to Borman. Borman tried to hit a man back door, just nobody was home with 5:17 now. Correction, 5:11 to go in the second period. Papaluano goes back to collect. Has it behind Dragosic. He's going to swing it back to Nenevisa. Nenevisa headman pass to Easton Borman. He's going to enter the zone with Wilson. He's going to try and work it through the skates of Maurer. Gaworski now controls. Gaworski pressures the defender here, number 7. Fazio moves it along to 20. Ferguson gets to this puck. Moves it ahead to Gaworski. Gaworski tries to angle his man to the wall. Nunez, who steals off Gaworski. As it's thrown back to Penn's D zone. Ferguson's going to leave it for Loyal. Lloyd gets the motor going. Lloyd delays. He's looking for a trailer. Comes all the way through to CJ Nenevisa. As play will stop here for a neutral zone faceoff. Man in ahead of the plate. 3:54 to go in the second period. As it's shot through everybody, refs will rule that it was deflected. No icing here as PHC controls. On the far wall, they're pressured by Gaworski and Fritchie, but pushed along back to the point where Gaworski tries to dive to get to this puck. Comes to the stick of Brady Fritchie. Fritchie up to Gaworski. Gaworski headman pass for 25. Blake Parrish rolls off his stick, maintains control, gets it back into the Penn's offensive zone. He delays the top of the circle. Decides to wind it behind Williams. Where Gaworski follows on to get to this puck. He's followed on by and assisted by number 4, Mason Fritchie. He throws Fazio to the ground, bodies him off. Fritchie goes right back to Gaworski. Gaworski snaps it just wide of the net. Becomes an outlet now for number 8. As Stark back checks nicely to get to that puck. 2:49 to go in the second period. Penn's trailing after 3 first period goals by PHC. Roach, he's going to walk in now. Knocked off of his stick blade by number 77, CJ Nenevisa. Mason Fritchie moves it to Bingham Green. Green delays. Goes back to Mason Fritchie. Snapped into the back of the net, over the left pillow of Colton Williams. Green feeds it right back to Mason Fritchie. Snaps it in on net. And it's a 3-3 game. Mason Fritchie with his second of the game from number 19, Bingham Green. With 2:28 to go in the second period, it is a brand new game. Penn's doubling up PHC on the shot totals right now on the scoreboard. Wilson's going to snap this back to Papuana. Papuana to Welch. Welch plays catch now to Papuana. Thrown off the elbow pad of Cole Davis. And it's a Penn's D-zone draw here with 2:18. So hopefully the boys in black and gold are not playing with fire with these icing calls. Stepping in for the draw will be Connor Wilson. I should say this icing call have not had a lot here so far today. Not a lot of whistles. As PHC gets to this puck, they throw it off to 77. Off the shin guard to Gorman. Wilson follows on to get to this puck. He's hooked up. At 77. Recovers and throws it right back to Ambrose Papuana. They'll throw it off the wall, held in by PHC. As there will be a hooking call here coming up. As Borman will go to the box for a hook. With 1:55 to go in the second, the Pens will go right to the PK. For the second time today, PHC cashed in on their earlier power play opportunity. So it made it 3-0. So as the Pens were mounting a comeback and got it tied, they're going to have to go back to the PK here as we get set here for the D-zone draw. Short-handed. As we're set here for puck drop. One back to 7 Fazio. Controls at the point. Throws it beyond the reach of Davis. And it comes back to the far point man, 20. Goes down low now. 22 on his backhand, goes to 20, has it at the top of the circle. Feathers it through, comes off of a stick to Roach. Roach is going to throw it back to 7 Fazio. Walking off the walls, Roach shot into some equipment. Then back to center as Connor Wilson is going to be interfered with there by Fazio. As the puck was nowhere near Fazio. Connor Wilson drawing the penalty there. So we'll have 4-on-4 action for the next 53 seconds. Ferguson on for the draw. Off his backhand goes to Blake Parrish. He's got some space to flex off the equipment at 94. All on is Ferguson. That's the goal announcement here from the MC today. Keith Borman in the penalty box running the show. Announcing the Mason Fritchie goal. The third goal for the Pens. As we are now under 1 to go in the second period. 48.1 to go. As retreating back as Max Roach has his pocket picked by Riker Ferguson. Ferguson's now shoved into the wall by Maurer. On the cross check. Off the turnover by Max Roach. Ferguson said, "Thank you so much." As Maurer. So the cross check, so 27. Should be going to the box here. Skating to the bench. The Pens are going to have a 4-on-3 opportunity right now, which will become a 5-on-3 in 15 seconds when Borman exits the box. Wilson on for the draw. Wilson wins it back to Brady Fritchie, has it at the top of the circle. A lot of space on the ice right now, 34 to go in the period. Deflected just wide by Connor Wilson off the Grant Loya. attempt. Wilson will delay now. 5 on 3 as Borman joins the Penn's power play. Loya back to Wilson. Wilson's going to walk this into top of the circle. Shot attempt. That's deflects wide. Pens have 13 to go in the period now. Brady Fritchie's back door. Deflected off the stick of Wilson. 6 now to go. Shot off of leg pad. 1 to go in the period. As Pens will start with 13 seconds of 5 on 3 time in the third period. But after period number 2, the score is 3-3. Penn's able to get 3 second period goals to follow up PHE's first period goal. So we'll be back with third period action in a moment, as the Pens will be on the power play. Period 3 set to begin here from the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex on the FedEx rink. 13 to go on the penalty to Fazio, the interference call. And 50 to go on the call to Mallett. So 2 PHC defenders in the box. Turkey on the table right now. Mason Fritchie wins it back clean to Grant Loya. Headman pass to Bingham Green. He's going to walk in easily into the offensive zone. Tries a drag move around. Man, lots of room here still as the Pens now have a 5 on 4. Fazio is going to skate to the bench as it's shot into the glove of Williams. Not sure if that was a miscommunication or not, but it took a little bit of time and it created an offensive scoring opportunity here for the Pens elite. 14:41 to go in the third now. .31 to go on the power play. Fritchie on for the draw. He's going to win it back to Stark. Start to Loya. Loya goes knee to knee to Fritchie. He's going to walk in. He's got some space. Deflected down by Nico Stark. Still stabbing at that puck. Nico Stark! Nico Stark with his second of the day! And it's a PPG for PPE. He got the pickle stabber out and found the rebound that could not be corralled by the netminder Williams. Nico Stark, the Italian stallion, gets the goal. It's his second of the day on the power play, number 7. Makes it a 4-3 game with 14:31 to go in the third period. Penn's going to stick with the same personnel grouping up front as it comes back into the Penn's D zone. Welch will go to Papuano. Papuano's going to spin it right up to Bingham Green. He's shouldered into now. As it goes through the legs now, Papuano, he falls down. Welch is going to come back to get to this puck as it's shot off the blocker. Big save there by Dragicic. As Papuano's going to lead the rush now. Throws it in the space as the Pens are changing their offensive grouping. 13:57 to go in the third period. Shot totals on the board right now, 20-8 in favor of the Pens elite. Where it's going to be chipped ahead, but picked off by Connor Wilson. It's knocked off a his stick blade right now by 22. It's bouncing around into the Pens offensive zone. 22 is going to snap it in on net. Right pad save from Dragicic. Papuano's going to throw it behind to Welch. He's got some space. And he's going to try and throw it up ahead to Connor Wilson. He hits Wilson in flight. Wilson's got a step behind Winton. Winton was able to recover. Still controlling his Wilson. He's got a lot of room here to work with. Plays catch with Nenavisa. Wilson walks off the wall, goes high to Brady Fritchie. Fritchie's going to snap that shot in just over the bar. Comes an outlet pass here for PHC number 8. 13-12 to go in the third period. Centering pass hits 22. He's in flight now. Tries to work it through the skates of Fritchie. Fritchie stays with him as Wilson's going to be knocked to the ice by 8. Pens have a power play coming up again. As could have got a too many men call as Roach stepped onto the ice way early. 6-on-5 situation right now. As it snapped in off the blocker of the netminder. Colt Davis tries to throw it back to the point man. That'll be stepped into. So it'll be a tripping call as Connor Wilson hooked up right in front of the Pens net. Pens right back to the power play here. With 12:43 to go on the power play, Riker Ferguson, he's on for the draw. He's going to win it back clean to number 43, Grant Loya. Loya goes right back into the skates of Blake Paris. Paris leaves it for Gaworski. He surveys the same top of the circle, goes down low to Paris. Looks for a man in front. It's Ferguson, doesn't get through. Picked off by Winton, throws it off the wall. Manning the point right now is Brady Fritchie. Rolls off of his stick blade, retreats back as he's facing some pressure from 86. Pens with a 4-3 lead, looking for more. On the power play for the next minute 3 as 8 sits in the box for PHC. Throw now high to Brent Loy. He's going to skate away from Roach. Loya near corner to Gaworski. Tries to hit a man backdoors. Paris comes all the way through to the top of the zone to Grant Loya. Loya snaps it off the shin guard. Comes through to Gaworski. Able to back it off the side of the net. Backhand it, I should say, off the side of the net. Gaworski, good back check to get to that puck. Picks the pocket of the PHC winger as it comes now to the stick of Brooks Gaworski. Knocked off the last second. Pens on the power play for the next 25, but PHC's going to try and push the action. Knocked off of 86 by number 9, Brady Fritchie. Loya trying to get the Pens one more rush here with 13 to go on the power play. He delays now. Looking for a pathway. He's going to lead the rush himself. Finesses it through 22. 5 to go. We'll be back to 5-on-5 action, it looks like, and we are. As Mason Fritchie has it high in the zone. He's going to leave it for Grant Loya. Loya snaps it right over to Bingham Green. Snapped over the bar, though, missing the net. As hustling over to this puck will be Ambrose Papuano. Goes through a lot of traffic. He's going to lead the rush right back in. Tries to work it around the defender. The puck gets through as it goes off the right pad of the netminder Williams. Bingham Green manning the point, tries to keep this in. As 86 is going to bring this through the legs of Welch. Too far out of anybody's reach, though, as Welch is going to now pin 8 to the wall. Moved along now by Mason Fritchie. It's number 8. Has it on his backhand. Surveys, goes wide of the net. Good stick there from Papuano. And Dragosic to make that stop as it's now on the half circle. Goes off the stick of Mason Fritchie, carried out by Ambrose Papuano. Pens changing a couple players here. As there's going to be a penalty coming up for a hooking call on number 22. So another power play as the stick work has come out since the Penguins have been mounting a comeback. Now with 9:47 to go in the third period. Pens going right back to the power play. Connor Wilson will step in for the draw. will be up front with 74 Easton Borman, number 11 Colt Davis, backside Ninevisa and Fritchie. Borman. He'll now take it low. Leaves a drop pass for number 8, Connor Wilson. Wilson controls. Swings it back to CJ Ninevisa. Ninevisa takes it on his backhand. Leaves it for Wilson. Wilson's going to push the action here. Goes back door to Brady Fritchie. Walks in, shot over the net. Comes all the way through to CJ Ninevisa. PHC sitting back. Borman. He'll push it into the box here. As Borman wraps it around the net, deflects down into the crease, unable to find that rebound there with the Pens. It's going to be snapped off the wall back to Borman. He's able to work this around. Roach had a stick in him, could have been another hooking call there. There's 34 to go on the power play. PHC swings it back to Fazio behind the net. Headman pass to 20. Good back check from Borman. Lifts the stick to get that puck back. As he's now takes a body from 20. Brady Fritchie with 17 to go on the Pens power play. He'll lead the rush. Just ahead of the play were the Pens elites. So we'll have a neutral zone face-off with 8:28 to go in the third period, 12 to go on the power play. Fergie steps in for the draw. Riker Ferguson, the centerman. Pens with a 4-3 lead. Almost at the halfway point of the third period. Power play looks like it will expire as we are going to have 1 second of power play action here after the icing call. So the Pens are going to go back into the offensive zone. To the left of netminder number 29, Williams. We are back to 5-on-5 action. PHC's able to kill off that penalty, but Riker Ferguson tries to get a shot in on the netminder. As conversation between Winton and Paris. I'll do it all over again now with 8:09 to go. Following on is Riker Ferguson. Swings it off for a wall, goes to the point man, Grant Loya. Loya's going to walk center, snaps it in, it deflects. As it's going to be a high sticking call here, it's going to be waved off. As Grant Loya was able to walk center there and snap that in. I'm not sure whose stick that actually went off. As it'll come all the way back into the Pens D zone as they're going to roll. It went off the high stick of number 25, Blake Paris. Glance down at the replay here as plays back underway. Ambrose Papuano is going to swing it up to Blake Paris. Drops right back to the stick of number 43, Grant Loya, with 7:40 to go in the third period. Pens thought they had their 5th goal of the game as that one was taken off the scoreboard off what was ruled to be a high stick. Ambrose Papuano, he goes behind Dragosic now. Goes up to Blake Paris, deflects back into the neutral zone where Riker Ferguson, he's going to get to this puck first. He wins the foot race. Riker Ferguson makes a little move. He shoots and scores. Riker Ferguson. Danced around the netminder Williams, who could not stay with Ferguson as he went across the crease, tucked in behind the left skater, number 29. Ferguson says no worries about the high stick call as he goes and he gets a goal for himself there with 7:17 to go in the third period. Riker Ferguson with a beautiful individual effort to get to the goal for the Pens Elite. But PHC brings it right back into the offensive zone of themselves. Snapped off the stick of Grant Loy. Is able to find his stick, pick it up, and get right back into the play. Is the right-handed defender 43. As he finds himself into a battle now with 20 below the goal line. Mason Fritchie. He'll get to this puck. Swings it up ahead of Bingham Green. Bingham Green is going to win that battle there. Two PHC players fall down. It's 2-on-1. Green tries to hit Stark, goes off a his stick blade with 6:39 to go in the third period. As we're checking out the replay on that high sticking call, comes now to Welch. Welch is going to swing this over to Brady Fritchie. He protects on his backhand. Just looking at that replay, it actually looks like it went off the right shoulder, the right elbow of Blake Paris. As Nico Stark, long shot off the left pad of Colton Williams into the corner. 6:11 to go in the third period. Maurer is going to bring it back to center now, where it's thrown beyond the reach of number 8. Welch hustles to get back to this puck now. He ties it up. Takes a cross check from number 8. It's now in his feet as he battles with Spittle now behind the goal line. 8's going to spin out of there with the puck. Welch now knocks it off the stick blade of 8. He battles with 22. Connor Wilson comes in to get to this puck. Connor Wilson's going to lead the attack now. He dances into space. Connor Wilson gets around everybody. Knocked off of his stick blade at the last second. Where it's now defended by Colt Davis and CJ Nanavisa. Nanavisa goes behind the net to Loya. Loya protects on his backhand. He's pressured by a couple of PHC players. Pacelli comes down to cut off his time in space, but it's thrown to CJ Nanavisa with 4:44 now to go in the third period. Number 77, the left-handed defenseman, moves it to his D partner to 43, Grant Loya. Loya tries to snap it up, but it goes beyond the reach of everybody. It's going to be an icing call here with a D-zone draw coming up with exactly 4:30 on the clock in the third period. Will be to the right of netminder number 29, Max Dragusin. Ferguson steps in for the draw. It's going to be won back by PHC. They snap it in on net. Welch is going to find this puck. He's going to be hooked up there by 86. 86 then tries to buy a call. And he does get that call as he felt the hand of Papuano. Hensley will go to the power play. I'm sorry, to the penalty kill. With 4:17 to go in the third period. Paris, Ferguson on for the draw. Backside, Fritchie and Welch. As it'll go into the equipment of Welch. Finds it in his skates now. As it's thrown to 20. Has it behind the net. Going to walk off the wall, gives it to Winton, who's in the bumper position. Ferguson's going to step out to pressure Fazio. Fazio goes backside to 20. Has it at the top of the circle. He's going to be pressured there by Brady Fritchie, who's knocked off of his skates. And just like that, that kills the power play. Good hustle there as Brady Fritchie's able to pressure the puck carrier and get to that puck. A new look penalty kill here for the Pens Elite. So we'll have 4-on-4 action. Five threes to score, 3:48 to go in the third. Ferguson steps in for this face-off, wins it to the wall. Winton steps to that puck, though. Throws it behind the netminder. Fazio has to hustle to get to this puck. PHC's going to try and hit a man that was streaking up ahead of the plate, 22. Forgot one thing, the puck, and it's found by Brady Fritchie. Centering pass goes to Riker Ferguson, comes through everybody. As PHC is going to try to come back 2-on-2. Parrish is back covering defensively as it's thrown out of the corner, where Fritchie's going to get to this puck. He's going to push it up ahead of space and try to follow on as it's thrown and picked up by Riker Ferguson. He's going to lead the charge here. Comes in 1-on-4, snaps into the equipment as the Pens getting set up here as they're able to change the troops. Headman pass right to Brooks Gaworski. He walks in, leaves it for correction. He still has this puck on a string right now. Gaworski delays, comes into the face-off dot where it's thrown to Connor Wilson. 4 to go on the penalty to Ambrose Papuano. He'll be out of the box in a second. Pens have a power play, shortened power play here for the next 25. Papuano to the bench. On for him is Easton Borman. As PHC able to exit the zone. Goes back to CJ Nanavisa with 17 to go in the power play. Man ahead of the play. It's Brooks Gaworski. Got 2 guys ahead of the play. Borman's going to go with him. Borman's going to drive the net. Gaworski's going to walk in, tries to hit. Easton Borman just goes wide of the net into the equipment of Connor Wilson with 7 to go on the power play. Borman now carries. He has it at the circle. Back to 5-on-5 action. The Pens unable to score on that shortened power play. 2:12 to go. Borman still has this puck. Centers it as it hits the right pad of the netminder Williams. Found now by Gaworski. He's got a man up high. He's going to decide to peel off and shoot this puck. With 2 minutes even to go in the third period. I'm going to think that PHC is going to pull their netminder here momentarily. With 20, he's going to stop up. Knocked off his stick leg. Deflected in and found by Dragosic. As 86 felt that. He went down, He went down with 1:49 to go in the third period. So Grant Loya's going to go to the box. Grant Loya, Pens up 5-3. PHC still not pulling their netminder. Interesting decision to get back into this game. As Fazio is going to walk in, it goes good pad save there by Dragosic. I think I might have a suspicion, but why the goalie's not going to be pulled there. But Brady Fritchie, he's going to try and bring in, try to go to his brother here short-handed. As PHC brings it back to center right now. Brady Fritchie gets to this puck. Mason will retreat now into his own zone. He has his pocket picked by Max Roach, who delays. He comes high slot into the glove of Dragosic to shut things down. PHC still with a man in net. As now the net will be empty for PHC on the power play. 6-on-4 opportunity right now. Green is going to win this back to Ambrose Papuano. Goes behind the net to Nanavisa. Nanavisa up to Borman. Yawning cage up ahead with 1 minute even to go. It's going to be thrown behind the goal line now where Nanavisa contests Spittle. Papuano tries to take the puck off of 68. It's now in the stick of Max Roach. He's pinned to the wall by Papuano with 41 to go. Found by 86. Correction, 68. Throws it into Winton. Winton's going to snap that shot off the tip of the glove with Dragosic. And over the bar with 31 to go in the third period. 22 now picks it up. He's pressured to the wall by Nanavisa. Roach tries to walk off. Centering pass goes up off the back of Dragosic and into the back of the net. Winton pops that puck up over the head of Dragosic. Rolled down his backside and into the back of the net. Tough luck there for the Pens netminder. With 22.8 to go in the third period. To make it a 5-4 game now in favor of the Pens lead. Looks like PHC's going to get a timeout with 22.8 to go. As they're going to look to get something set up off the draw here. Penn's able to climb back from a 3-0 deficit early in the first period. And up until a few moments ago, had 5 unanswered goals before PHC got a 6-on-4 power play goal. All right, 22.8 to go. After the PHC timeout, we're set. Riker Ferguson on for the draw. He's flanked by Paris and Davis. Backside of Fritchie and Welch. Yawning Cage right now, 6-on-5 as it comes back to Winton. Winton goes D to Fazio, 19 to go in the third. As it's going to be chipped. As it's going to be ahead of the play was 22 Spittle. So neutral zone faceoff. Offsides is the call with 14.4 to go in the third period. We'll line it up with the same personnel groupings. Ferguson on for the draw again. It's going to be won by PHC. Fazio up to Roach. Pressuring him, though, is Brady Fritchie's going to push it back into the Penn's offensive zone. Shoots for that Yawning Cage. Brady Fritchie puts it in for the ENG for PPE with 5.6 to go. Brady Fritchie tucks it into the Yawning Cage. And the Pens are going to walk out of here with what looks to be a 6-4 lead. Max Dragusin coming in relief today has stopped 13 of the 14 shots he's faced. Ferguson now on for the draw. As it's pushed back into the offensive zone. Correction does not get there because Colt Davis is in there. And the Pens are going to be victorious here in game number 1 of a 3-game set. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. The final score, Pens the lead 6, PHC 4. Shot totals on the board 26-17 in favor of the black and gold. And that will do it from game number 1 of 2 today. So thanks for joining us. Be back at 6:45 for game number 2 between these same two teams. Thanks for joining us. 6-4 is the final. Have a great rest of your afternoon.